Hey, it's Glenn, and I can't sleep. I mean, probably legally. I mean, because I'm at my office right now. I usually do these videos someplace comfortable, but it's getting way harder these days to find places to be comfortable. I'm gonna take my shoes off though, and okay, that's not too smelly. I feel like Mr. Rogers, but evil. That is better. That's better. Yeah, but I haven't done one of these videos in a while. I'm not even medicated. That's how uncomfortable I am. Sitting in this office chair. The hall lights are on. I'm fully clothed. But I found myself basically doing these videos at night without a camera. You know, that's why I started doing these videos was I just used to walk around my house and talk to myself out loud to get outside of my head. Like especially during the pandemic when I was really isolated and I just talk out loud, get out of my head, and figured why not turn on the camera and record these thoughts for posterity. But I've been doing that in the car when I leave the office and go try to find a place to sleep. I'm just talking about things, and if there were a camera on, I'd have done some fantastic episodes probably of I Can't Sleep. And then I'll walk my friend Nick's dog at night and just talk. But it's been so cold out there, I don't know. So I just need to talk. I mean, that's what I'm realizing. I just need to talk. And I've been putting up, I'm about to put up, I've been editing I Can't Sleep shorts, going through old episodes of this YouTube series and doing shorts, and it's reminding me of just the early days of doing I Can't Sleep videos and how chill they were. I miss those. I miss being able to walk around my house alone without worrying about who's listening to me or, who's going to interrupt me, without having to compete for time and space. And I would just go sit on my couch in my living room, turn on the camera, and I could say whatever I wanted. And it was good stuff. I'm really enjoying going through the old ones. I don't much watch my old videos unless there's some research reason I need to look something up. But yeah, it's been interesting. And I'm looking at these old videos and realizing, gosh, I need to do that. But it's harder and harder to find a time and place to do an I Can't Sleep video. But I'm going to try to be more deliberate about it. Because, there's a lot on my mind. A lot on my mind, and I don't even know where to start. So I guess I'll just start. You can be my psychiatrist for the night. I'll just start at just how much I just need to talk. It's been 5 months or so since I moved out of the house in Richardson. Since all the roommates went their separate ways. And like, I used to have someone to talk to all the time. Like, have deep, long conversations. Like, whatever's going on, there's someone who knows about it, you know? And I guess that's what it is. Like, it's difficult going through life with no witnesses. And I feel like everything I've been doing, I've been so determined these past 5 months to succeed in everything that I do, and I'm making amazing progress. I'm I'm getting things done and in motion. I'm doing things with my writing, with my author website, that I've wanted to do for years. Like, I'm really focused. There's no distractions. No distractions. And I guess, it's kind of like, it kind of gets to me sometimes, when I stop to think that there's no distractions. Like, I put up a vlog not long ago called Learning to Say No, and it's just, have I lost the balance there? Like, I don't know, but I don't think it's the wrong move. I think I need to be doing what I'm doing right now. And, that's what keeps me going. But I do miss having people to talk to with no boundaries. Like, nothing is off the table. Every topic has the green light. I don't feel like I can talk to anyone that freely anymore. And as far as like all the writing and stuff, all the publishing projects I have going, I don't want to talk to anyone about those. I just want to do them. That's kind of one of the things I've drawn a line for myself with is, because people like don't get it. I mean, if you're in a creative field, if you field or just hobby, if you have a creative passion that you do, I bet most people don't get it. Like, and I'm a very outside the box thinker. I always have been. And, like my outside the box plans always work if I don't let anyone else have a say. And that is why I decided, okay, leaving Richardson, moving forward, and I'm going to just do me for a year. I'm going to just focus on myself. Like, there've already been a couple, like, I'm saying no a lot to social things. There've been a couple of romantic possibilities that I've run away from because I don't want to. I don't have time for that. I'm focusing on me. I'm focusing on success. There have been a lot of things with friends inviting me to do things that I've just said no. And the thing is, like, when I'm with friends, I'm still just in my head. Like, if there are people I want to talk to, they're not available to talk to, or there are topics that are off limits, So, like, it's not that I don't want a romantic partner ever again. It's that because there's, a good romantic partner, that's who you talk to, and everything is on, there's nothing off limits, topic-wise. And that's what I crave right now, really. is someone I can talk to about anything and everything, but there's like right now no one in my life who fits that description. But like, see, a romantic partner wouldn't get it, what I'm doing. Because, if I accidentally stumble into something, I'm not changing my plan for the year, and that's not fair to another person, because I'm very focused on writing and publishing, YouTube, podcast, everything I do that relates to my creative endeavors. That's what I'm putting first, because that's me. That's core me. And it's so great. Like, I guess I get burnt out a little. Well, I sort of feel burnt out. Like, it's hard to get going some days in the office, because I want to just purely be working on manuscripts and writing and experiencing and painting with words. But I'm in a point right now where I'm doing a lot of editing and formatting, and I think the freest I feel is when I'm writing in my journal, because that's something I started when I left the house on Damien Way. Was I wanted to keep a handwritten journal all year, because like I've kept journals and they get out of hand because I'm a bit loquacious. And I feel like I have to write down every detail of every day, and it's just overwhelming because that's who I am. And I thought, if I keep a handwritten journal, that will limit me, because my hand will get tired, and it has worked out exactly the way I wanted it to, where I write down what's important to know. Sometimes I'll go on a tangent about how I'm feeling about a thing, but mostly, it's like it'll be limited by my hand starts cramping up. So then I, get a bit more concise, get it said, and move on. But all the things I'm doing as far as editing and formatting are great. They're things I've been wanting to do. It's just up front, I guess. There's so much of that kind of stuff, of business end stuff that I've been doing, like plotting and planning, and like I'll be free to do the actual writing part of writing soon enough. I just have to stick with it. I don't know, but it's really difficult to, and I mean, I've been doing it as a thing. Like, I'm really proud of myself, but I guess emotionally it's difficult not having someone to talk to. Emotionally, it's difficult feeling kind of isolated, but knowing that I need to be in order to succeed for a year. I need to do this. And it's emotionally difficult, sort of tuning out the world to a degree. But it's dangerous to tune out the world altogether, Like, my friend Nick Smith got me these noise-canceling headphones. And I love them so much. I want to wear them all the time. I want to wear them to Walmart. I want to wear them everywhere. Because, if I put those on and put my sleep mask on, it's like I'm in sort of a mental sensory deprivation chamber. I'm just like floating kind of outside of the world. Like I can hear, but I don't know how to explain it. It's like it's dulled. It's like I'm not really intensely hearing things. And like, it just feels cool. It's kind of like I'm offset from the physical world somehow. Like I'm listening in a little, but not really. Like it's dull enough sound that I can ignore it and I can just think. But like tuning out the world, I have to be present when I'm at my day job. Mentally, I have to check in, And that's not so hard. I don't mind my day job. I like the people I work with. But it's more like just the world events, we're in such chaos times. It's scary, and all my worst fears about the current president have been coming true. And I'm just trying to be like aware of the fact that the world is burning around me, but also zen about it and just okay. Well, what can you do about that? Nothing. Nothing at present, so carry on. Carry on with the plan for the year. And I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with all that. And again, there's no one to really discuss it with on the daily, at the end of the day. So I just kind of have to internalize it and try to ignore it while still being aware of it and understanding that there are bad things happening in this country right now. For our podcast, we're about to do a special unplanned episode of Autodidactica all about it. A couple of special episodes all about it, really. But, so that could be cathartic. But again, it's just for a few hours. And then I don't have anyone, I hope I get comments on those. Like on the Autodidactica YouTube channel. I would love to discuss these things with people. But it's not the thing. Like if I see a friend I haven't seen in a while, I don't want to get bogged down in negative things. It's like I'm torn. I want to pretend none of it's happening, but I also want to deal with it. I want to address it. It's like all the crazy that's going on the globe, especially here, because I am here. The crazy that happens here affects me directly. But, I want to tell myself, we're going to get through this. It'll be over and never done again. Like, we'll make sure this never happens again. There won't be a civil war. There won't be a World War III. Incompetence will win the day. Like that guy, he's writing executive orders that are blatantly unconstitutional. It's like, that's what I always would tell people when they're scared that the Democrat president will take away their guns. I'm like, is going to, get rid of the Second Amendment. And I would always say, the president can't do that. The president does not have a magic wand with which to change the Constitution. Not a thing. Stop letting the fearmongers herd you. That's what they're doing. They want you scared of dumb shit. And so, I'm looking at it, telling myself the same thing. It's like, yeah, he wrote an executive order, for example, ending birthright citizenship. Well, he can't. He can write it, but he doesn't have that power. He does not have a magic wand with which to change the Constitution. That is an enormous process. It requires not only a large majority in Congress, but it has to be ratified by the states. You can't just write an executive order that says I'm changing the Constitution. So I need to tell myself not to worry about that one because it's stupid. It's just stupid. A lot of what he's done is stupid, and it's not gonna fly. But there's a lot of what he's done that is terrifying, and there's a lot of, and there's the fact that they've already been ignoring the Constitution and nobody is enforcing it, and if a law isn't enforced, well then maybe he can just write an executive order and change the Constitution if no one stops him. But it's Congress, because, alright, so the courts have determined that he did in fact incite an insurrection. That was the basis of what he was in court for. They never put him on, I don't think they ever brought charges up against him directly for it, but other cases that information and evidence came out so that, not only is he a convicted felon, but he also, the record shows he incited an insurrection. Now that does not mean he can't be the president. But what bothers me is that there is a constitutional process that needs to have been gone through in order for him to be the president after being disqualified constitutionally from being the president. Congress can decide to overlook the fact that he incited an insurrection against the government when he didn't win the last election before this one. And I have no doubt... Whoa! The lights just went out. In the hall. But yeah, I have no doubt that the current Congress would have absolutely decided, oh yeah, sure, he can still be the president. So it's not like, it's just that I want those processes to be honored. I want him to be in there as lawfully as possible. I don't want him to be a lawless president. He doesn't care about the law, and that's a huge problem. Like I say, I want him to be there in there lawfully, but I mean, that doesn't mean I wanted him to be there in the first place. It's just that if he is there, let us respect, honor the Constitution. That he put in a Bible to sell to people to make money. Unreal. It is unreal how anyone thinks that guy is a good Christian man. He's never read a word of the Bible. He wouldn't even put his hand on the Bible when he was sworn in. That's I saw it written somewhere and agreed with it. That's like the equivalent of crossing his fingers when he swore to uphold the Constitution by not putting his hand on the Bible. I mean, it's just the again, it's the process, it's the tradition. I think it's weird that we have to swear on the Bible in court and stuff, but you're allowed to. It's just the symbolism of something you hold sacred, swearing upon it. Thing is, he doesn't hold anything sacred. I want to say, when you go under oath, if you can choose something other than the Bible to do that with. Because, it's a silly old tradition in my opinion. But it's what is done. And, it's kind of like he gives the finger to all the people to whom that matters. And like, to where you are, it's a symbol of, it's not about the Bible. It's about the gesture of taking an oath and with your hand on something sacred to you, symbolizing that this oath is equally sacred to you as what your other hand is on. That's what it's about. And so what he did by not putting his hand on the Bibles was, he said, this oath is not sacred to me. And that's what troubles me about it. It was blatant. Like, everything he's doing is blatant. And since the Supreme Court basically gave him carte blanche to commit crimes in an official capacity, I feel like he's not holding back at all at this point. Like all the attorneys general he just fired. Well, again, there is a process. The president doesn't have that power. He can't just up and fire people in those positions. There has to be, he has to go through Congress. There is a 30-day waiting period. He's been in office, while as I record this, I think 5 days. There was no 30-day waiting period. And I think he has to do it directly. He can't have a minion do it, which he did. Like, everything about it he did incorrectly. I want the president to honor the law. Like, yeah, you have to have just cause to remove those people. And he's gonna bullshit, they're gonna find some reason. It's like, he's going to do it. Like, I think Congress will give him whatever he wants. It's just that I would like him to, if he's going to do horrible things, at least do them lawfully. At least do them in accordance with the law and with what powers he actually has. Don't overstep. But it's like there's no effort. And is anyone going to hold him accountable? Like, those attorneys general should just show up for work, Because legally they have not been fired. And I mean, that's what frustrates me too. Like, this man has no idea how any of this works. He's a washed up game show host with ambitions of tyranny. So things like Greenland. Like, okay, you know what? Like, see, so we can't... That's the exhausting part of this, is we have to look at the facts. And like, you can't just decide that everything he's doing is wrong and bad for the country because he's doing it. You have to actually look at why the hell does he want to conquer Greenland and Canada, and why is he doing these things? Why is he talking about manifest destiny like he's Andrew fucking Jackson? Part of it is because he's a psychopath, as was Andrew Jackson in my never humble opinion. But, Greenland, and now this is not me saying, yeah, we should go conquer Greenland, we should take Greenland by force. That we should absolutely never do. But Greenland has been in our sights since the early 20th century. It's not like he just came up with this. I feel like someone must have mentioned this to him, that if we thought we were going to be invaded, Greenland is a place we need to have people, we need to have troops. For national security, like he's saying. I just feel like diplomacy is better than war. Democracies don't go conquer Greenland, like. But you know, like, Greenland is it's a spot, like, everybody's got, Russia and China. We don't want them to have Greenland. And given the current situation globally, Greenland is a volatile place, as I understand it. Russia's got troops in Greenland. China has a positive relationship with Greenland, as I understand it. Russia and China are a little bit scary right now, but I feel like he's handling this badly. You don't run off your mouth and make threats to Greenland. We need Greenland to be our friends. I mean, and conquering someplace like that, it's just, he's going to spread us out too thin. But again, who knows what his agenda is ultimately. But he's making it so that we don't have any allies, is, I think, the big problem with his international policies, his global perspective. Like, I don't know, I'm just scared. And then he pulled back, ended all funding to other countries, just blanket all of them, without looking at why we send aid to other countries. Like, why we send aid to Ukraine rather than troops is because we can't get involved without it becoming World War III. We can't get overtly involved. But Putin's resources are limited, I think if Ukraine can hold out another year, Russia will be bankrupt. And we want that. Because then there's no World War III. So we send them old missiles. We send them money. We're like, here, keep at it. Do what you can do. But you know what? We're not going to help you. Like, we're not going to proactively, like, come over there with troops. Because then we're at war, and then the UN has to get involved, and everyone's going to be at war. That's why everyone's just leaving Ukraine. Like, because, there's people out there who don't realize that. And there are people in there who think we should be sending in troops. Like, save Ukraine. Why are we just letting them flail? Well, it's because if one of the allied countries is at war with Russia, all of us are. So we're letting Ukraine tough it out. But we're giving them a little help without actually putting boots on the ground, It's a tightrope walk. It's a game of chess. It's an unfortunate reality of global politics. But sending aid to Ukraine in any form was keeping us out of war. Of course, he wants to pull out of the UN. So I don't know. I didn't want to talk about all that in this video, but I did say I needed to talk. I don't know. I need to talk about a lot of things. That's one of them. But I guess what I'm saying, the point I'm making, is that I need to be aware of what's going on in the world, but at the same time, I can't let it get to me to the point that I shut down with anxiety and depression. Like, I don't have time for that this year. I don't have time for this man's bullshit this year. But who knows how long I'll be able to avoid it, Like, he's going to put tariffs on everything allegedly starting February 1st. And that is going to make all the things that are already too expensive more expensive. So that scares me. His thing about drill, baby, drill, dumbass. While all the other developed countries in the world are going electric and getting rid of their dependence on fossil fuels, he wants to make us more dependent on fossil fuels. It's crippling us on the global stage. And he's not the only one. It's not just the Republicans who have been doing that, like China, again. China has the best electric cars. The cheapest and the best, the most affordable. But our solution isn't to outdo them. Our solution is to put massive 100% tariffs. And that's the Democrats. That's, I think it was the Biden administration. But 100% tariff on that company's. We don't even have this auto company in the United States because no one can afford it. They double the price of those electric cars that everyone else in the world is driving. They're affordable and they're quality. And they're losing their dependence on fossil fuels. Fossil fuels which are a finite resource. Electricity is not a finite resource. Solar is not a finite resource. I mean, of course, yes, one day the sun will blow up, but we'll be dead long before then. The planet will be uninhabitable long before then, and we're talking about billions of years from now. So, as far as we are concerned, it is a practically infinite resource. The sun, electricity. You don't have to dig for those things. You're not going to run out of those things. So why cripple us and make us the only developed country that is utterly dependent on fossil fuels? We could, I don't know. It's just, but again, global politics, there's nuance, there's a lot. There are many factors that go into making these decisions. But right, again, my point is, I'm taking care of myself and I am going to have a very successful year. But those are the things, those are the things that I don't have anyone to talk to about and that I'm trying to navigate through. I'm barely on social media. I'm gonna have to try to get back on. Other than YouTube. And now with shorts, we've got Autodidactica shorts that are already going up on that channel. I'm gonna have I Can't Sleep shorts going up on this channel, maybe Conversations in Sunglasses shorts, I don't know. But it's gonna be, and then I'm gonna have the regular videos and the regular episodes of the podcast, and so there will be new content going up almost every day this year. So, I've got that part of social media covered, but it's all about, being visible, and it's really all about my books. It's really, and I have fun on YouTube. I have fun. I love doing these videos. Maybe I'm not in a silly, fantastic mood right this minute, but I do, it's fun, it's a hobby for me. Yes, it's part of my author platform, technically. It's a business thing, but I don't care, about, if I retired from writing, I'd still probably do YouTube, just for fun. It's because it's enjoyable. And it's not even about succeeding on YouTube in and of itself, it's just that it's all together. So I'm going to need to, for business reasons, stop avoiding social media, like Facebook. I'm not even on Facebook socially. I get on there and all I want to see are... I've tried training every algorithm to just show me golden retriever videos. I log onto YouTube, it's going to show me almost nothing but golden retriever shorts and Facebook, Twitter, or X, whatever. It's all about the same, and I'm about done with X. I'm probably going to stay on it, but only because I'm going to be on everything. I'm not really going to put a lot of energy into X. But like, yeah, I used to get on and comment and, engage on those platforms. Like, I have my personal Facebook and I have my author Facebook, my fan page. And I haven't posted anything on my fan page in over a year, so I've got all this new stuff going on, author-wise, so I need to get on there and engage with people, and I enjoy it when I do it. It's just that I don't want the bullshit. I don't want to have to see all the political crap going on in the world every time I get on there, and then feel obligated to publicly reply or comment to things. Like, I did that on Twitter years back. I mean, I was always on there just speaking truth to power. It's exhausting. But like, if I'm on there and someone says something horrendous, like attacks a marginalized community, like trans people, I can't be silent, It's permissive, and I refuse to be permissive. So I guess that's why I'm avoiding getting back on all of those kinds of social media things, because it takes a lot of energy. So I think I'll have to have a dedicated day that I just do, a day of the week that I just do all of that stuff, all the Facebook, Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram. Like, I have Instagram. I don't even have any pictures on there. I'm just a lurker looking at golden retriever videos on Instagram. Maybe I'll even get on TikTok. But again, I mean, TikTok's another one. If you actually look, why are we banning TikTok? You see, there is a potential problem there. I get it. And it has to do with, it's a Chinese company. And China's national security laws require social media companies like that to surrender all information in matters of national security. Our information is not protected from the Chinese government, basically, is the problem, and that's true. It's a fact. So I would say just be very careful what you put on there. The thing is, it doesn't seem that China is actively doing this right now. The threat is that they could, and that TikTok would have to comply. TikTok would have to turn over all of our information to the Chinese government. So that's the issue there. But whatever. So I might get on TikTok, because I mean, what do I have to hide? I don't care. I don't have anything to hide. It's like I'm not getting on there and doxing myself. Can you dox yourself? Or is that just called being an idiot? I don't know. I don't know. But again, I guess I'm just from talking out loud. See, that's good. It's good to get out of my head, because I'm realizing I am healthily aware of what's going on in the world. And the fact that I can't really do anything about any of it right now other than just talk about it, to be informed and to help others to be informed. So I guess I am doing a good job of balancing that, because I'm not getting behind in my work. I'm doing well at my day job, I'm doing well with my finances, everything is balanced because I'm basically isolating myself. But I am going to try to make more attempts to force myself to be social, like legitimately like social with my friends, like go do something. But I have to plan in advance, that's all. I have to block off a day because I can't just randomly say, alright, I'll just not get this work done on this project today and I'll go do that with you. Much as I want to, but I'm not giving myself that freedom this year because I have the one goal, and that is success. Like, I have a book coming out, I keep talking about it. It got delayed last year, and then the world fell apart. My world fell apart. And so it's getting back on track and should be out in March. And I have high hopes for it. I have a lot of, I have a number of reasons to believe in the success of this book. Because I haven't had a new book come out in 4 years about. My last novel was The Legends of Nod Book 5, A Hero Before His Time. And see, that's something I'm getting on track too. Like Nod, The Legends of Nod is supposed to be a pulp series. Like there's supposed to be 5 books coming out every year. And we've never gotten that on track because so much has happened. But right now, I am on track to get all the projects going the way I've always wanted them to go. Like nothing is in my way. But yeah, it's been 4 years. And that book did alright, you know, for an indie book. Like, it really did. Like, I'm remembering now that July of 2021 was amazing. Like, The Legends of Nod was topping charts in certain genres, you know. Certain niche genres, it was topping charts. Several, and I was just elated. All of them, all 5 books. But again, it wasn't my top priority. Like, there was so much else going on. When that book came out, I remember it was such a fight to force it out into the world. You know, it was a complicated birth. Like the last several books I've done have been. Just, it's been really hard for a lot of years because I've put so many other things first that I don't regret putting first at the time, but now is my time. Now is my character's time to be put first. So, yeah, but I mean, what I'm saying is the last time I had a new book come out, it did pretty well. And if I'd been able to follow up on that momentum, you know, it would have been good. Like, I've gotten to points like that a lot. Like, going to LA to talk to movie people about metronomes. Like, but it was in the midst of my life falling apart yet another time. I wasn't able to follow up with the momentum. And like Autodidactica started, the podcast I do started getting a lot of hits, and then life happened. I was trying to think how to phrase it. A 9-month hiatus happened that I couldn't do anything about. And it's like anytime you lose momentum, you have to start over. You know, you have to start over trying to get people to see you, to pay attention to your work. And I hate, like, dropping off on continuing series, you know? Like, because then readers, like, forget. Like, they lose interest in a series. Like, they're less likely to come back. Like, that's why, like, the Chronicles of Nightfire, Texas, I just started reissuing the 15 chapters. That's the serial novel on my author website that I started back in 2000. In the year 2000. I don't know why that's funny to me. Just from being a child and hearing all the predictions about the mythical year 2000. When all the future is going to happen. But, it's been 2012 was the last time I published a new chapter, and it finished an arc. It finished the second arc, but that was, 13 years ago? Can I do math? That was 13 years ago. But so I'm reissuing it a chapter at a time so that people can be reintroduced to it. Chapter 2 comes back out in February. And by the end of this year, all 15 chapters will have been reissued, and then plan is January of next year, chapter 16 comes out, and we keep going. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm getting everything back on track. It's going well, and we just keep going. It's weird, I don't usually talk about business things in I Can't Sleep videos, but I guess that's what's on my mind. It's not business so much as just like what I'm doing with my life. So don't worry, folks, if this one's boring you, I won't be talking about this in the next one. Because I'll have gotten it off my chest. Plus I'll probably be medicated in the next episode. I don't know. And I don't know where I'll be. Like, I'm just in such a weird place in life. Like, there's so much on my mind. Like, it's such a weird transitional place in life. Because I'm kind of drifting. Like, I'm going in a direction very determinedly. But it's like I'm doing a spacewalk. It's like I know where I'm going, but it's scary kind of floating from where I was to where I'm going, because I'm not actually anywhere right now. I'm drifting. I don't have a home of my own. I don't have a bed. Like, I miss my library, I think, more than anything. Like, I lost my library when we moved to Richardson. I had to put it all in storage. But I'm going to have it back, and better than ever. Because, that's one thing that's frustrating here. I've got to set up bookshelves in this office. Because for reference, there are books I need. But I can't set up my whole library. But I've been frustrated a few times. Like, I'm doing research for things and such, and delving into my continuities. And there are books that I have, but they're just in a box somewhere in a storage unit that looks like the last scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark. Like, I'm sure the Ark of the Covenant is in there somewhere. It's just, I don't know how to even start looking for a particular book in my public storage unit. But, over the course of this year, I will need books, so I may just have to re-buy some books and buy some new books to get what I need research-wise and all that. Because the library is one thing, but, like when you do series or return to a particular world repeatedly, like the reference books you use, you kind of want your own copy so that you can, at any hour of any day, get up and look through that book and see what it is you verify whatever fact you were thinking about. Like, I don't know, maybe other writers will understand what I'm talking about. Right, but see, that's what I was talking about at the beginning of this video, like how people don't get it if they don't do it, if they don't do something like writing and publishing. They don't get why you need the things you need. Like, they don't get why you can't just write a novel in a room full of loud, screaming, insane people. Like, I don't know. I almost feel like that's another topic for another time, but whatever, we're here. We're here now. I'm getting it all out. Like, see, and even here, though, like, it's weird because, like, I was talking about how I miss just being able to go into my living room and sit on my couch and not worry about anybody else and talk freely. But even here, it's like, this place is where workaholics go to die or to live, you know, I don't know. There's people here at all hours. Like, there's people here now in their offices, and it's like after midnight now. It is 12:25, and I am not the only person who's still at work, technically. You know, I'm in my writing office, and so like people are always walking past. Like, if the lights come on again, it's because someone walked down the hall and the lights came on because they're motion sensitive. So I don't know, like, especially when it's like this late and there's not that many people here, like, I just have to be aware my voice is carrying. People are probably listening to me all throughout the building. Whatever. I'm still doing it, but it's just kind of like that feeling of not really having total freedom. Like, you know, I can't be in my comfy pajama pants up here, or just altogether pantless below the camera. I can't be comfortable. Because I used to make these videos and, like, legitimately, I was dealing with insomnia. I was dressed for bed. Like, I was comfy. But, you know, the last one I did, I was in a friend's house, on a friend's couch, being licked by a friend's dog, and like noise was happening and people were there who didn't understand even what YouTube was, talking about people not getting it. They didn't understand. I'm sitting there talking to the camera. I guess they thought I was talking on the phone or talking to my friend Nick, or I don't know. So, it's weird. Yeah, people don't get it. But yeah, that's why I'm not telling people about my plans except as I go. Like, I talked about some stuff tonight, but it's already, like, known stuff. Like, I've already started publishing some stuff, but I have a lot of projects in the works. And I'm not talking about what I'm doing or how I'm doing it. I'm just doing it because I don't want to waste the energy discussing and arguing with people when there's nothing to argue about. You know, I guess that's what it is when I talk about people not getting it. It's that they feel like they get to argue with me about my publishing strategies and my, you know, which writing projects I prioritize, and you know, how much time and effort I put into a YouTube or a podcast video. Like, everyone has their say, but no one has my vision, you know? Like, and if it's me following a creative vision, no one else's say matters. You know, like, I've had even, like, people who read a published book of mine, like, the people in your life, if you're a writer, it's funny. Like, I think I've talked about this before somewhere on YouTube, but like, your book will be published and in stores, and it's like they won't understand that it's published. Like, they don't understand that your book is real. Just because they know you. You're not an author. You have 11 books published. You're an aspiring author. You want to write a book someday, like those 11 that you wrote and published and are in stores and on Amazon, and like, oh, I've run into that so many times with people legitimately not comprehending. This book is already published, and so they'll say, you know what you should do is blah blah blah. I'm like, it's done. There's no what I should do. But a lot of times it's just really bad advice anyway. Like this, you know, gosh, I could go on about 30 topics tonight probably because I haven't done this in a while. I think. I have everything to talk about. But like people, they don't understand my priorities as a writer. My priority, like success, is a means to an end, and the end is being free to tell the stories I need to tell in the way that I need to tell them. So I'm not going to curtail those stories. I'm not going to conform to a business plan. The business plan conforms to my creative vision, not the other way around. But other people are like, oh, well, if you want to sell books, then you should write about this. And I'm like, but that's not my story. I don't have that story. Like, you need to write something like, it's like everyone's a corporate executive when they talk to me about my writing career. Like, whatever. Corporate executives don't know anything about the arts. But like, oh, you should write this kind of a book because that's what sells. I'm like, I don't care. I don't have one of those books in me. Like, the characters are as they present themselves to me. None of it is forced. Like, I listen to the characters on things. Like, okay, so like The Legends of Nod, having a gay protagonist for a fantasy series, bad business decision probably, but they do all right on Amazon. It's my most popular series. Because I followed that vision, and there is a market for it. But I'm not chasing a market, The market finds the books it's looking for, pretty much. But even then, it's like me, if I have an idea, I'm talking about not forcing things and creative visions. Like, my initial thinking on The Legends of Nod when it was gestating, before I actually met the characters on the page. Like, I thought Joring, the central character of the series, would be a promiscuous bisexual. He was neither of those things. He was a devoutly monogamous homosexual. And I love him for it. Like, I love that character. But I let him tell me who he was. And see, writers know, like other novelists know what I'm saying isn't as psycho as it sounds. Like the idea of listening to your characters. But there are other people who are fractals of my spirit. The good guys, the bad guys, all of them. So they are real living and breathing people, They are parts of me, so I listen to them. They exist in a dream realm. It's like a stable dream world. It's the same as a dream. Like, if you're in a dream and everything seems real to you, right? Like, the dream characters are real, your dream experience is real. It's imagined, perhaps, but it's still real. Like, that is a real experience. That is a real realm that you are in, whether it is in your mind or outside of your body and mind. Like, whatever it is a real realm that you experience. And that's kind of, that's like fictional characters. They inhabit such a realm. So I never try to force them to live in a way that isn't genuine to the spirits that they present to me. Like, and then, like the promiscuous bisexual character manifested somewhere else in the Legends of Nod. There's another character, Longshot, wound up being that character. And I didn't know that about him either. It was just a fun discovery. It's like, oh, okay, well, cool. So like when people say, oh, like, so that's what I'm thinking. Like, business wise, someone might have said, you know what? Maybe don't make Jordan gay. How about just don't mention his sexuality? How about make it ambiguous whether he and Galen are just really close or lovers? Like, let the reader leave it to their imagination, and then you'll sell more books to more people. I don't believe in that sort of thing. I believe in letting the characters live their full lives and be who they are, no matter who it annoys or irritates or offends. So, like, when people say things to me like, oh, you should change this character's name to this because blah blah blah, even though character has been in numerous published works. I'm not going to just go back and re-edit all of them, unpublish them, republish them just to change the character's name to make you happy because you think it would sell better. Or like, I had something that hasn't come out yet, and a friend of mine read it and was like, you should set it in the 80s though, because that's when we grew up. And Stranger Things is set in. I'm like his advice is like, you should do this because Stranger Things, and you should do that because Star Wars. And I'm like, this is neither Star Wars nor Stranger Things. This is its own thing. And it takes place when it takes place. Because it's in an established timeline that has been works have been published in this. Like the book that's coming out, it's not set in the 1980s. It's set in 2009. And it deals with established characters. And if I were to set it in the 1980s, they would not have been born yet. Like, I don't know. Just things like that, like people don't get it. But I'm not bitter. I'm just rambling away. Like, I don't even know what the title of this video is going to be. Because it's just kind of all over the place. But I guess I needed to get a lot out of my system. Maybe that's why I can't sleep tonight, because I just needed to get a lot out of my system. Get it all out of my head. Talk to somebody. But I do feel a lot better. Like, because I was on the verge of I'm always kind of on the verge of an anxiety attack, a panic attack. And I don't have time for it. But it's, partly because I'm presently unmedicated, and partly because I don't have anyone to talk to, which is just as good as medicating for all the acronyms that are bouncing around, assaulting my neural pathways on the daily, like the ADHD and the CPTSD and what else do you need? I've got it all, which is why I do medicate from time to time and reboot my brain when it starts spiraling. But I've been trying to avoid it spiraling because medication makes me silly and sloppy and unmotivated. Like, it's harder to get things done. And then I have to wait for it to wear off and for me to be rebooted and refreshed, and then I can hit everything again with a clear head. But yeah, it's like there's build-up, I guess, of triggers and their effects that I just kind of push down and try to power through, and eventually it catches up with me. So this is good. This is good. I need this outlet because I feel a lot better. I don't feel that impending doom of an anxiety attack coming on me because there's just so much. It's so overwhelming. Like, so much I'm dealing with, so much I'm not dealing with, so much I'm trying to do There's definitely a goal, a place I'm trying to get by the end of the year, but I'm currently floating in space while aiming for that destination, so it's all very anxiety inducing. And I don't take any time to sit down and just process what I'm going through, what I have gone through, you know. Like there's a lot of that, I got priced out of going to see the shrink once a week. That was very beneficial, because I haven't processed really all the things that happened 5, 6 months ago now. I've just, put on my war paint and got moving, got fighting. And that's kind of the state I've been in. So I should probably re-up my medicine. I've been long out. It's been 5 or 6 months. It's been 5 months since it's been like 4 months since I even bought medicine in a dark alley. But I should probably get a refill just in case it all hits me someday, because it will. Like I will have a day where I'm just like, all right, I need to check out for a few hours and reboot. But that's easy. It makes it easier to process things too. I guess that's what I like about the headphones and the sleep mask, because I can tune everything out and just float around in my head, and I can just think about things and process things. But I can only do that the only time I take to do that is when I'm going to sleep, so that I can go to sleep, because there's usually lights, noise, and chaos all around me when I'm trying to go to sleep. So I need to put those things on. And if I'm medicated, even better. And then I can process things. But it's not. So I'm always about to fall asleep when I do it, so I don't get to spend very much time just contemplating what I have been through over the past half a year. And longer. It's like really the past year and a half. And here I am, I'm just bouncing from topic to topic. Because I haven't gotten it out in so long. Thank you so much for listening. I greatly appreciate it. Because I know this isn't a very standard I can't sleep video, but there have been a number of anomalies over the years that I've been doing these. But I do feel that I'm in danger of bouncing back into topics I've already talked about, and if I do that, then it's going to become a tedious video, I suppose. So, what I will say is that as much as it's beneficial to process things with all the sights and sounds tuned out, it's a whole other level of beneficial to say it out loud and feel like I am being heard. I'm not just talking to the air or a dog who's like, whatever, I'm gonna pee now. It's beneficial to feel like I'm talking to someone who can hear me and comprehend me, and possibly even say something in response, illustrating that they've heard and comprehended me. So I feel like 1,000 pounds lighter, having talked through a bunch of the junk that's been in my head, that's been building up and collecting in my head. So I'm going to go ahead and call that an I Can't Sleep video. If you want to follow my writing, you can go to my author website, glennslade-clark-jr.com. Check out the Chronicles of Nightfire, Texas, my serial novel. There's a PDF version that you can read for free on there, and I'm going to keep that as a feature. You can also get a little pocket paperback if you want something tangible, if you want something on the bookshelf. That you have to pay for because it costs money to print those. But, I mean, the idea was always to have something free on the website for my readers to come back and read, like, between my big releases that they have to pay for. So, and to have free samples of my work, kind of, for potential book buyers. But yeah, it's all up there. So glennslade-clarkjr.com. And if you like these I Can't Sleep videos or any of the other quirky things I do on my author website, if you want to follow my journey in my vlogs, if you are so kind and so inclined, you can like and subscribe and hit all the bells you want if you want. Like, I don't know what all of that does. It makes me feel famous and loved. And that's not a bad thing. If I get to 100 subscribers, I'm going to buy a new hat. We're at 91 as of this recording. So there you go. And that's a video. And thanks for sitting up with me.